Hello and welcome to this CAO presentation. My name is Aherne and I'm Guidance Counsellor here in Terenure College. And I'm just making this short presentation to assist both students and parents in making their CAO application. So you should all have been emailed one of these handouts. And if you have this while watching the video, it will be very useful. Also, all students have been given their CAO handbook. And also, if you have that nearby, while you're watching the video, it would also be very useful. So what is the CAO? The CAO is the Central Applications Office, and it's a means of applying to third level colleges in Ireland. So basically, instead of applying to each college or university individually, you just apply in one place. And they only deal with applications and not admission decision. That's up to each university. General principle: provide fair and equal treatment for all applicants and minimises expense. As I've said, instead of applying to each university, you can just apply in one place. Purely administrative, and it is important that it is the student's responsibility to determine the status and the suitability of any course chosen. So all students have received their CAO handbook. I've gone through it with them, and basically all the information that is in this video is in the handbook as well. All the courses that you can apply for, the codes, and all the information on applying is there. So it's all in the handbook. The CAO is for Irish college entry only. So UK, Europe, they all have different systems. It's only for Irish college entry. It's points based, we know this. Your best 6 points, your best 6 subjects count, highly objective, and sit as many higher level subjects as possible to gain those points. And you also, very importantly, must have the subject requirements for the course that you are applying for. So the slide showing there is the National Framework of Qualifications, which shows the higher education framework in Ireland, third level. So level 5 is your Leaving Cert and can also be your PLC courses, which are the post-Leaving Cert courses, the VTAC courses. Level 6 are your Advanced Certificate, can also be PLC courses. Level 7 are your Ordinary Bachelor degree. Level 8 are your Honours Bachelor degree. Level 9, your Postgraduate or your Masters. And Level 10, your PhD or your Doctorate. So your Level 6 are offered in Institutes of Technologies only. Mostly about 2 years. Points are generally lower than level 7 and 8. You graduate with a higher certificate, and most colleges offer a progression onto level 7 and then onto level 8. But you must get a merit or distinction grade in order to make these progressions. Your level 7 are offered again in ITs only, normally around 3 years. Points are generally lower. You graduate with an ordinary degree. Some ITs offer a progression onto level 8, most do, and a certain grade again needs to be achieved here. So your level 8 are offered in both universities and ITs. Many universities only offer level 8. They're generally about 3 to 4 years. Points are generally higher than your level 6, 7. Graduate with your honours degree or your pass degree. You do not have to achieve a certain merit to progress, and you must complete the full 3 or 4 years of the degree. So it's very important that it is the applicant's responsibility to ensure that the application is submitted accurately and on time, which basically means that for any course that a student is applying to, that they have thoroughly researched it and are aware of what is involved in the course, and that they have it in by the correct closing date. So guidance in choosing courses. I'm in the process of meeting all 6-year students. I have met with most of them already for an individual vocational guidance interview. That students are familiar with all the courses on offer by thoroughly reading their handbook and all of the information on the courses that they are choosing to select. The computer search engines, Qualifax, a great website, careers portal, CAO, many of these are a great help, especially at the moment because of COVID. Open days, etc. Are not available, so much of the information has transferred online. discuss options with family, friends, past pupils, guest speakers from the various higher educational institutes. So we've had a guest speaker from the universities and ITs, which we're very lucky that they were able to come in to speak to 6 years. We've had commerce, we've had construction management and many more, and there will be more continuing. And also gather the information at open days while gathering information at the virtual open days. So many of the websites that will greatly assist both students and parents in choosing courses are there. CAO, Qualifax, Careers Portal, and all of the university individual websites as well. Student Finance for any finance. Susie is the student grant, Access College, that would be for the Here or There Access Scheme, and UCAS is the UK. So students must meet the entry requirements for the college or university that they are applying for. On the handout that I have sent you, there is a list there of the different subject requirements for many of them, but it's important to check each college prospectus and course because courses do change, and to make sure that you have the entry requirements required for that course. So just to go through a few of them, the NUI colleges, the National University of Ireland colleges, which are UCD, UCC, NUI Galway, RCSI and NCAT. The minimum requirements are 6 subjects, with a minimum H5 at higher level in 2 subjects, and at least grade H7, 30 to 40%, or grade 06, 40 to 50% in 4 other subjects. So minimum entry requirements for UL and Trinity, 06 H7 in English, Maths and another language, 3 H5s and 3 06. GCU, 06 H7 in English or Irish and Maths, 2 H5 and 4 06 H7. In general, in ITs, your level 8 are 2 H5 and 4 06, level 6 and 7, 5 06. So we are all now at this stage familiar with the Leaving Cert grading scale. Instead of your A1, A2, we now have your honours and your ordinary level, and it is your H1, H2, O1, O2, and so forth. And the points there are as shown. So on the next slide is just a selection really of popular courses and to show you the points of what they were for 2020. Now you will notice that in 2020 points did go up for most courses, especially for commerce, which is normally around the 500 in UCD, 498 it was in 2019, it went up to 521. BESS in Trinity as well, which is your Business, Economic and Social Studies, which is normally about the 520 mark. It went up to 543. I don't know what will happen next year. I would hope that there would be a little of a point deflation again, because the points at that level for most things, they did go up due to the calculated grade system for this year. There is of some of them. Here we have more level 8 points. TUD, there you see, that is Technological University of Dublin, which is the new DIT. So it is Blanchardstown, Tala IT and DIT. They have amalgamated to produce Technological University Dublin, and you have the different campuses. So City Campus is the one in Ainger Street, Grange Gorman is the new campus that they have, and you have your Tala campus and Blanchardstown as well. And here are just a few more level 8. I'm just giving you a broad selection of roundabout what the points were for last year. So here's a selection of the level 6-7 points. It's very important that students fill out the level 6-7 as well as the level 8. For many courses, they really did jump this year, for example, in science and engineering. And for some students, if they had the course on their level 6-7, they will progress and they can progress into the level 8. For example, in engineering, most engineering in the level 8 you need a H4 for. This one in the level 6-7 in TUD in Bolton Street, it's 370 points. which is very high for a level 6-7, and you do need an ordinary 404 in maths, but then you could progress into the level 8. Equally for science there in TUD in Grange Gorman was 361 this year, but you have the option then of progressing into the level 8. The specific entry requirements for some subjects, for example in commerce, UCD, you do need an O2 or a H6 in maths. Primary teaching, it's a H4 in Irish. Engineering at level 8 generally is a H4 in maths. Veterinary medicine is a H5 in chemistry. Cadets in the Defence Force in O6 in a language. Human nutrition and dietetics, you need a H5 in chemistry. That's just a selection, but important that students are aware. So just want to explain a little bit about the website Qualifax. Very, very useful website and resource. The National Learners Database. So if you go to the Qualifax website and homepage, you get a list of career events, choosing a course, finding a course, the course contents, the entry requirements, the here and there, and the points, everything there for you. To do this, you go into the website, you click on students, course finder, CAO, new search, and then you type in whatever it is that you want to look up. So engineering, science, and click on search, and it'll give you a list of all of those courses in the country. So there you can see a list of courses in that field, all of the HEIs, the higher education institutes that provide the course, the National Framework of Qualifications, level, and last year's points. And you click into whatever it is that you want to have a look, and it's all there for you. So it's a really, really valuable resource. So to talk a bit about open days, or virtual open days as we have now. Unfortunately, many of the open days have been cancelled. They are not going to happen this year, but everything has gone online, and really students and teachers, everybody's getting used to this way of finding out information. There's a list of the virtual open days, and the students have this. There's a career guidance Microsoft Teams page, and I have posted it there, and I do tell them about these every week as well. And really, in some ways, you know, it's just the open days are on from about 10 until 4 most days, and they can go in and find loads of information on that. Okay, so to making the CEO application. Well, the normal application is €45, but if you have the application set up by the 20th of January, there's a €15 discount, and it is €30. So quite simply, you go to the CAO website, you click on apply and follow the instructions. And then once the application, the account has been set up, students can go into my application, and all their information is there for them. The closing date is February 1st, 2021. Carefully note your CEO number and apply online at CAO. The system becomes active in November. It became active on the 5th of November. And you're free to change your mind up until the 1st of July. I'm happy to help any students that may need assistance in making their application, especially those who might be applying through the DARE programme. Or anybody else who just perhaps would like some help to make the application, simply bring in a credit card and they can book an appointment with me. So if any student has a learning disability, an exemption from Irish, a physical disability, obtained reader, spelling exemption, there are necessary steps. So I can assist any student who needs some assistance there. So the online application, the first part will be just to enter your personal details, student name, address, date of birth, very important date of birth, schools attended. Mobile number to receive text. I would give mobile number because it is actually very handy. They'll text you your CEO number and they will send you text with different information. So you should put your mobile number in. And then to take the Irish Leaving Cert, 1985 to 2021. It's very important that this is ticked instead of the other. You'd be given a choice, and the others are perhaps you're applying as a mature student or different things. So it's very important that you tick that box, the Irish Leaving Cert. So once a student has made his application, he will receive his CAO number on the receipt of online application. This number is very important because all correspondence with CEO will be using the CEO number. It will be how he will access his account, how he will get his offers, everything else. So it is important to keep it safe, as every time the student will access his account, he will need to use his CEO number. Then once you have your account set up, you can go in and have a look at your level 6, your level 7, and you can list the courses that you would like to apply for in order of preference in each category. So you get 10 choices for your level 8 and 10 choices for your level 6, 7. And on each, one list does not affect the other. So here is just a screenshot of how the screen will look once you have set up your account. There's level 8 and there's your level 6, 7. To add a level 8 course, you click on the level 8, you look at the code from your handbook for whatever the course is that you want to apply, and you enter the code. So here's an example of how it'll look. So whatever you have put in for your level 8, the code is there, and it will say beside it what the course is as well. So you're sure that you're entering the right code for your level 8. If you want to change it, you just click on change level 8 and you'll enter them all. You will have to enter them all again, but you change them and you enter them all again. You have your level 6, 7 there as well, and you'll add them or change them as you like. If you intend on applying for a grant, I'll talk a little bit about finances later, but if you think you're eligible, you can indicate this on your CEO form, and it makes things a little bit easier because they're alerted that you are applying for the SUSI grant. And also, if you're exempt from Irish, you can put this or click on the link there on your form to say that you are exempt from Irish. Now, there is also additional steps in sending in forms to the NUI colleges if you're exempt from Irish, but you can indicate this, and it also makes things easier later on if you have indicated that you are exempt from Irish there on your form. And if a student is perhaps applying for the DARE, the Disability Access route, you click the link there for the application, and I will assist any student who's applying down this route, and also the Higher Education Access route, which I'll speak a little bit more about later. So this is a general screenshot of how the CAO will look in your account when you go into it. If you want to go into your application, you just click My Application, where you enter your CAO number, your date of birth, and a password that you yourself have created. Very useful here is if you go down on the left-hand side, the student resources. Before you make the application, you can do practice run. There's a demo application, and I will actually go through this with the students in their class. And then you see your video guides, you have your handbook, application checklist, you have alert list, points, everything else there. So on the student resources, it's very, very useful to have. And you can see yourself, all of it is quite easy to navigate on the CAO webpage. So as I've talked about before, the point system is calculated from one sitting of the Leaving Cert, and your 6 best subjects are counted. Most students do 7 subjects. Some do subjects outside your school, but it will be your best 6. And as long as you have passed your Irish, English, Maths, satisfied the entry requirements, it will be your best 6 subjects that are used for points. From 2012, the bonus points have been there for the Honours Maths, which means that you get an additional 25 points if you receive a H6. H6 or above, you will receive those 25 points. So you enter your choices in order of preference from the highest to the lowest. You have 10 choices in your level 8 and you have 10 choices in your level 6, 7. So if, for example, you scored 500 points and your first choice after the points are calculated, we won't know what the points are until the offers come out. We'll say your course was 505 points. That was number 1 in your level 8 and you got 500. You have not got that choice, number 1. Perhaps you got number 2, which was 498. You got 500. You have the points, so you will be offered that course. Let's say in round 2, you may be offered your first choice if it is available, and if not, then you will stick with your second choice. So if a course further up the list became available, you may be offered it, but everything else lower down will be gone because you've gotten your second choice. You'll also be offered your highest on your level 6-7. One of these does not affect the other, so you choose whichever one you want to accept. Entry requirements can be satisfied over more than one sitting of the Leaving Cert. So if, for example, you got 400 points, but perhaps you failed maths and you were not offered your course, well then you have the option of repeating your maths in the next year. You've passed the entry requirements then, and you could apply again. But points, as in adding up points, can only be from the 1 year, but you can satisfy entry requirements in more than one sitting. Some ITs now offer points for foundation level maths, but you need to check the course carefully. There are some courses which are called restricted courses, and these are highlighted in the handbook. Generally, these are courses which you would have to do perhaps an audition for or a portfolio, and these courses must be on your list by the 1st of February. After the change of mind, you can't put these courses down because they have to schedule interviews, auditions, everything else like that. But it is worth noting, and it is very important, that if you intend on applying for any of these courses where it says restricted, it must be on your form by the 1st of February. Before the end of May, each student will be either emailed or posted a statement of application record, and this is sent out to ensure that all your details are correct. Your CAO number, your exam number, and your course choices. The course choices, you will have the change of mind on those, but it is crucial that you check the CAO number and exam number are correct on this for future offers that you may receive. Contacting the CAO, the easiest and most efficient way is by using the Contact Us facility on the website, and you can quote your CAO number and then usually they will phone you back. Also, if you're posting anything into CAO, you must obtain the certificate of postage as proof of postage. The offer process. So in the week following the release of the Leaving Cert results, which is normally the middle of August, if you are entitled to an offer, you will receive an offer notice online. You may be offered a level 8 and a level 6-7, and if you receive 2 offers at the same time, you may only accept one. And you must accept the offer by the closing date on the offer notice. There can be no delays at this stage. Any offer not accepted by the closing date for receipt or acceptance of offers in CAO will be offered to another applicant in the next round of offers. Students should be present for both the round 1 offers and the inspection of the Leaving Cert scripts, which usually happens early in September. You will be offered the first course for which you qualify, as I've said before, on your level 8 and on your level 6-7. So what you should do, you must accept an offer unless you intend to defer it for a year. All courses below the one you are offered are automatically deleted. So if you get your first choice, number 1, everything below it is deleted. If you qualify for a higher points course for which you have applied in subsequent round, you have the choice of accepting it or retaining the course you have accepted, which means that if you got your third choice and you accept it, if your second choice became available in the second round, you will also be offered that. Even though you have accepted your third choice, you will still be offered the second choice. So when you apply to CAO, you're issued with a CAO number. There are 3 extra digits appended at the end of the number. You're not informed of this, but these are used when there are a number of students competing for available places. And this is called random selection. And this is where you see there's a star beside the number of points. So what happens there is that if there are 5 applicants with identical point score competing for 1 remaining place, random number selection applies and the place will be offered to the applicant with the highest random number. It is down to pure luck at this stage. So the lowest points that it can possibly be, not everyone on those points will get the course. It'll go into the random selection. So if you want to defer, what do? You do not accept the offer. You email or write immediately to the college admissions office stating why you want to defer, attach the appropriate part of the offer notice, and then you reapply to next year listing only the course that you have deferred, and they basically have kept that place for you for the year after. So here are a few more other considerations that I'll just briefly go through with you. The alert list is one. So the alert list, some changes have occurred to courses. Perhaps courses have been discontinued or a change of name or different things like that. And students will be informed of this. They're displayed on the notice board and also through the Career Guidance Teams page. They're also available on CAO.ie. Now, access to the higher educational institutes. So this is the DARE and the HERE scheme. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about this. The DARE scheme is called the Disability Access Route to Education, and it's a scheme for school leavers with disabilities, and it operates on a reduced points basis. The HERE scheme is a third level admission scheme for school leavers from socio-economically disadvantaged backgrounds, and they both work in the same way on a reduced points basis and also offer a number of supports when students reach third level. Disability Access Route to Education, who's it for? School leavers who have the ability to benefit from and succeed in higher education, but who may not be able to meet the points for the preferred course due to the impact of their disability. Applicants must meet the subject and minimum entry requirement of the institution, so they still must meet the entry requirements. What types of disabilities does DARE consider? So there's a list there. We've ADHD, ASD, blind, deaf, hearing impaired, DCD, dyspraxia, mental health condition, neurological condition, physical disability, significant ongoing illness, speech and language communication disorder, and your specific learning difficulty, which includes dyslexia and dyscalculia. So DARE participating HEIs, that's the Higher Education Institute. Most of the ITs and universities are all part of the DARE scheme now. So there's a list there. And on the next page, so most, all of the universities are there. How do you apply for DARE? It's part of the CAO application system. So any student who is applying for DARE, I will assist them in that. Most of the students I already know of who may be applying, but if there's anybody that I'm not aware of, then you can get in contact with me. So as part of the CAO system, they tick the appropriate box, and there are additional steps. It is important that any supplementary evidence of their disability must be posted in by the applicant, and that is by the 15th of March. The higher education access route, who's it for? School leavers who have the ability to benefit from and succeed in higher education and who come from socio-economic groups in Irish society that are underrepresented in third level. Students must again meet the entry requirements and the subject requirements. A lot of supports are available here: orientation program, extra tuition if required, one-to-one meetings, and financial aid. Here, eligible criteria, you must meet the number 1 there, and then it's a selection of the other indicators. So income within the thresholds for the higher education grant, and then you have the other indicators there. So you must meet the first one, and then it's a selection of the others. The HERE application procedure is the same as the DARE, applied through CAO. Indicate on the form if they wish to be considered for HERE. Again, I can assist any applicant who may want to make an application through HERE. All assisted financial documents must be posted to CAO by the 15th of March. So just a little bit about applying for medicine. You must meet a minimum of 480 points, mostly more than that. Meet the minimum entry requirements and sit the HPAD Ireland test. The points and the minimum entry requirements must be got. Medicine is the exception to other courses on one sitting of the Leaving Cert. HPAT results are valid for 1 year. It's 2.5 hour based test, multiple choice, and it has 3 modules. And the date for medicine is in February. Students apply, first of all, they must apply through CAO, get their CAO number, and then they must apply to register themselves for the HPAT. The cost of applying is approximately €150. There is only one sitting, and it's normally in February, and the results are issued in late June. So these were the entry level points for medicine for this year. It's based on HPAT points with Leaving Cert points. And as you can see there were some of them which went into random selection, which was for Cork, for example, was 731. And the star there means it went into random selection. So not everybody on those points actually got the course. It's important to note also that you need to be an EU national and have lived in Ireland for 3 out of the last 5 years to qualify for free fees. Otherwise, you have to pay at the international rate. They have to be paid at the non-EU level. And it's important that a non-EU candidate state that they are part of this on their CAO form. And I can help any student if this applies to them. Also, once you have made the application, you must send in documented proof into the chosen university. Exemptions from Irish or a third language. For most students, it will only really apply to those applying to the NUI colleges. So if on the grounds of a specific learning difficulty or being born outside of the state, then there's a form that you must send in to the NUI colleges, and you must have a psychological report if it's on the grounds of a specific learning difficulty. For some students, the PLC route is an excellent option. These are the post-leaving cert certificate courses, and there are many of these all over the country. These are usually at the level 5 or 6, and they can then mean that you can progress onto the level 7, 8, and so on. You apply to these directly to the chosen college, and there are many colleges to choose from. This stepping stone route can be especially beneficial to maybe students who may need a little extra support, and it can be a great backup for these students if perhaps they don't get their chosen level 7 or level 8 course. Students receive a FETAC award, and from this they can continue on to the level 6, 7, 8. There's many of these available to view on your Qualifax as well. You can click in, and instead of choosing your CAO courses, you can click on your PLC, and also check the progression routes to the different colleges. So here we have again, like explained at the start, your level 5, 6, 7, and you can go on to level 8, 9, and even 10. Also, just to mention apprenticeships here, there are many different apprenticeships to choose from. These can be found at the website solace.ie or apprenticeship.ie. You have your traditional apprenticeships such as electrician or mechanic, but also there are new apprenticeships being introduced all of the time, such as cybersecurity, accounting, auctioneering for property, and there's a big drive on at the moment for more apprenticeships, so it's well worth checking out for students that are interested. Now, just to talk a little bit about finances, and just to note that some of the colleges in the CAO handbook are fee-paying colleges, which means that the registration fee of the $3,000 does not apply to them. They're privately paid. Most are between $4,500 to $550, and there's a list of them there. But there is tax relief available at 20% for these colleges. Grants. To check for eligibility for the grant, you can go to Student Finance and also the SUSI website there. You can fill out an application to see if you are eligible or not. Scholarships. Student Finance has a list of scholarships. Any sports and academic scholarships, I'm happy to help there as well. But many are offered through the higher educational institutes directly, so you can have a look there, and many of them are different closing dates. It's not just one system for all. And I'm available to help any student, be it sports scholarship or academic scholarship. The UCD Ad Astra scholarship, which you must get 6 H1s for. The application there is a separate application as well, and I'm happy to help any students. I'm also happy to say that one of our students from last year received the Ad Astra scholarship. So important websites again, and these really will be very useful to check any of the details that I've gone through. So CAO, Qualifax, Careers Portal, and Student Finance. So I'll finish up by leaving you with my contact details. If I can be of assistance to anyone, you can either phone the school or my email is there. You can also follow me on Twitter. Everything that I've gone through in this video, I have also done with the students in class and asked them to supply me with their CAO number by the end of December, so that I know that they have made the application. Any queries, you can contact me, and I hope this presentation is useful to you. Thank you.